uniquely qualified to do so, not only as his daughter, but as someone who experienced his impact on soccer through many stages of my life, as a participant at his soccer camps, in youth club soccer, and at OCU. I was born the evening of a professional soccer game in which my father was to coach. And while he made the correct choice in attending my birth rather than the scheduled game, my mother will never know if the nervous pacing was due to the anticipation of his first child or the game result, which they won, by the way. I tell the story to illustrate the interconnectedness that soccer has played in the lives of my mother and I, due to my father's utter devotion to the sport in which he has dedicated his life. My boss, Dr. Bob Blackburn at the Oklahoma Historical Society, often talks about the building blocks of history and how most often no one thing happens in isolation. Many things happen separately or in tandem over time to develop greater accomplishments. An example of this would be the Max Tax Initiative, eventually leading to the Thunder moving to Oklahoma City. Well, Brian Harvey has been a vital building block in the architecture that is soccer in Oklahoma City. While he certainly can't and wouldn't take credit for the growth of youth soccer in Oklahoma since the 1980s, as this was part of a larger national trend, he was in the right place at the right time to help shape its success. And while he can't take credit for the Oklahoma City energy, he can be proud in the knowledge that he brought not one, but 3 professional and semi-professional teams to Taft Stadium, which introduced many in the metro area to their first professional soccer experience and inspired future generations of Oklahomans. While many might consider coaching at the collegiate or professional level to be the highlight of one's career, I know that some of his proudest experiences stem from when he coaches youth soccer. Helping players as they transition from the technical aspects of the game to learning the tactical elements are the moments when he gets to be a teacher, and nothing brings him more joy than seeing a player run into open space or make their way up the field with a 1-2 pass. Coincidentally, some of his greatest influences in the sport have been in the realm of youth soccer, from coaching club for the past 35 years to teaching, taking teams to the UK to play in soccer tournaments in the late 1980s through the early 2000s, to Brian Harvey's American Youth Soccer Camps, which, by my estimate, has served approximately 6,500 campers. My dad has provided a lifetime of service to developing youth soccer in Oklahoma. However, his lasting legacy will always be the contributions to the soccer programs at Oklahoma City University and the impact he has made on the lives of the men and women he has coached. His time at OCU can never be considered anything other than successful, no matter what aspect you judge by. Winning record, check. Successful, excellent graduation rate, check. Successful careers for alumni, check. And generous alumni, many of whom are here tonight, check. A few weeks ago, I asked our OCU soccer alumni group on Facebook to provide me with their favorite horror story to help participate in this introduction. And I was not disappointed with the results. From phrases often heard at practice and on the screen earlier, if it were easy, everyone would do it, to memories of curfew calls at 10:30, back when everyone had a landline, to inside jokes, only understandable to the players in Harv, "You're off the team, Benigno," and most notably, his ever cordial relationship with referees. There were so many fun memories shared. My personal referee story is when a referee missed a handball, which led to a goal against us in a playoff game, which we ended up winning. But in those days, my dad would call the newspapers after a home game to report the stats. So upon reading the newspaper while drinking his morning coffee the next day, the ref must have been somewhat surprised to see that he had been credited with the assist for that particular goal. And perhaps a sense of humor. And finally, one player remembers Harv stating the following to a ref: "Hey ref, Can you card me for what I'm thinking? No? Well, I think you're But it is only fitting that I have since found out that this particular insult was borrowed from the one and only Abe Lemons. So before I invite my father up to the stage, I'd like to ask one thing, a little audience participation, if you will, which JR kind of stole my thunder a little bit earlier, but that's okay. Everyone's gonna still, their thighs are working, so it'll be fine. If you have played for my dad, both at the youth level and at OCU, please stand. If you attended a camp, or if you went on one of our tours, or if you are a parent of one of these former players, please stand. All right, I know there's more of you. I know some people's kids went to camps. It's all right, you can stand up. All right, so this is the impact, this is a small taste of the impact that Brian Harvey has had on soccer in Oklahoma. And I am so proud to call him, you guys can sit down, I'm sorry. So this is the impact he's had on soccer. And I'm so proud to call him my coach and my dad. So without further ado, please help me welcome Brian Harvey to the stage.